There was a group of people led by myself that felt there was a lot more than the ordinary, and we were very interested in out-of-the-box thinking, out-of-the-box initiatives, and what one of the board members always called incurably curious.
It was a hunch. We had a hunch that there was more to life than our everyday routine, raising kids, earning money, just getting through the day.
And it started as the unifying hunch bunch. It was kind of a fun thing to share with like-minded people. We would gather maybe once a month and in their living room to talk about this. Look at a video, listen to a lecture that somebody had given.
Michael is an avid reader and he likes to share what he reads.
We would accumulate these articles and we would get these volunteers and we'd lay it all out. How many trees we destroyed was just phenomenal. And we would put together these packets and we would mail them every month. You know, the audience got bigger and bigger and bigger, and really it's how the Marion Foundation then got created.
So in those early days, it was a lot of fun. It's all about learning, curiosity, asking questions. And then one of our early board members, Johnny Chase, said, "Okay, gang, what do we do Monday morning?" And that was sobering. We realized that we really needed to get down to brass tacks. How do we make a difference in our lives as well as other people? And this is about community, and what is our community? So that's when we started to look at New Bedford in particular. We thought, well, maybe we could bring some of these changers to New Bedford to talk about what they do and set an example, and hopefully people can learn from that and bring that back to their own community.
That was my introduction to the Marion Institute, was Connecting for Change. It was the very first 2005 conference at UMass Dartmouth. Actually, I helped to run it as a complete volunteer at that point, and then at that conference is where I was offered a job to start. It brought people of all ages together, of all socioeconomics, of all race and culture and ideals.
I love seeing the Zeitarian full of people, just the eclectic mix of both the audience and the presentations.
I think we could really see results from particularly the younger crowd that attended, because half the 1,200 people attending were young. And I think because they were exposed to a lot of interesting material, particularly on health, healing, food, environment, they shifted their game plan strategy for life and occupation, and were very interested in doing something more meaningful with their lives.
You really felt you were sort of part of a movement.
There were so many moments during those conferences where you just had a belief that everything was going to be okay because people will talk to each other if you just give them the space.
We've supported so many initiatives and leaders who have spun off to do amazing work. We have Cambodian Living Arts, the Greenbelt Movement, the Himalayan Project, which is still doing amazing work through us.
They have embraced people that have come along with initiatives that probably wouldn't have gotten off the ground without the umbrella of the Marion Institute.
While a lot of the work that the Marion Institute does is global, I'm super excited and passionate about the work that we're doing here on the South Coast. I think it's making a big impact in the community.
Grow Education has transformed the landscape of New Bedford Public Schools. Within a short period of time, the program was able to create gardens at half of the New Bedford Public Schools.
We've noticed a huge impact on the teachers, the students, the family engagement, the community cultivation through these outdoor classrooms.
That's going to be a lasting impact for the foreseeable future, and most certainly for my daughter's future as she goes into New Bedford Public Schools. It brings me great joy and pride that where I live, that I get to drive down streets and see the impact of the Marion Institute. I get to walk into coffee shops and see the Connecting for Change t-shirts that people probably got for the first time 11 years ago, and they're still wearing them today. The impact of the conversations and the physical structures and the transformation of people's thinking in the city of New Bedford is one of the Marion Institute's greatest legacies.
I would suggest that the greatest achievement that the Institute Foundation has achieved over the last 25 years is probably bioregulatory medicine, which came to us primarily through the fact that our son had cancer. He had something that the allopathic form of health and healing couldn't do anything for. And so I was challenged to find something alternative, and I found the bioregulatory medicine in Switzerland. And we believe that is the greatest form of health and healing, and why we've devoted now 23 years to promoting bioregulatory medicine and are now creating this huge clinic in downtown Providence to practice this form of medicine.
We're not small thinkers. We're looking at changing the state of health care in this country, treating the individual and not the illness, not having cookie cutter, one fits all, really make an impact on how health care is delivered and how people understand their health and how people take responsibility, and it becomes a partnership. It's no longer doctor heal me.
Next 25 years, we're going to continue to inspire, support change makers. We are a convener. The Marion Institute has always had a wonderful ability to connect people from all backgrounds, making sure that we all have a seat at the table, and we will continue to do that for the next 25 years and hopefully longer.
I would just say, truly, and I really believe this, if it ended tomorrow, the little stone of all the projects, the ripples that these stones, that these projects all around the world would continue to ripple out literally for hundreds of years.
It's been a strange and exciting journey. We used to say, is it the hunch or is it the bunch? And I think it's both. We couldn't have done it without the friends that came along for the journey, and we couldn't have done it without the curiosity that drove us forward.